Well, for many, many years, I've been doing paintings, but never thought of myself as a painter. I just did them virtually every day as a sort of action meditation, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I used to do this many, many a day using copy paper, many a day. And I gave a lot of them away to people who came to me for help, because I realized that this was a way that I could help them. And also I would get them to do it, which was more important than me giving them one of mine, was to give them the idea, the inspiration to do it themselves. And then some years ago, somebody with some knowledge in art, with a capital A, said, don't you realize that you are an artist and that the general public would be interested in this? Well, I said, I'm certainly not an artist because I can't draw. I could call myself a painter, but never an artist. But even so, I'm not really a painter. I'm a healer. I've graduated out of usual medicine, out of psychiatry, out of alternative medicine, into healing, which I'll talk about in a minute. And painting is just one of the modalities that I use in my healing work. So I'm a healer who practices painting and encourages those who come to me for help to practice painting. I could sort of call myself a painter, but I certainly would never call myself an artist. I want to make this very clear. Every day in my more quiet meditation, and then before I start painting, which I do on virtually a daily basis and sometimes many times a day, I'm always going through many meditative stages, as there were. But one in particular concerns this, that I always think up, as it were, and say, may I be a clear channel for your healing, with a capital Y and a capital H. Now, I say may I, because I don't want to tell whoever that is what to do. So I put it out there as a sort of suggestion, as a reminder, what I call I posit it, I put it there. So may I be a clear channel for your healing, which is what I do before I paint, which is what I've done before I'm talking to you now. So it's always not asking, certainly not demanding, but just suggesting, as I like to use the word, just positing. So before all my painting, one way or another, I am positing that suggestion. May I be a clear channel for your healing. I realize it's not me that's doing the healing. I realize it's coming through me or not, and it will help others or not, as it's supposed to be. Now, why get one of my paintings? I had an artist framer. His specialty is, he was an artist and specializes in framing. He came into the house in which I was. He looked at the wall. He said, "It's a sin. That wall is a sin." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because it has no paintings on it." But why put he wants to put the paintings there because he loves art. He particularly loves frames as well as art. But why put up one of my paintings? Not because it looks good, not because it's beautiful in the usual sense of the word, but because hopefully the posit has been accepted, that it is some form of healing modality, which is why I'm doing it. So I don't want someone to take one of my paintings who says, oh, it looks nice, or it reminds me of my Aunt Bessie, or it does this, or it does that, or it's a pretty flower, it's a pretty picture. No, or that it tells a story. No, I would like you to put it there because you think, I could be helped by it. That what John Diamond asked, what he suggested, may happen to me, may happen through him to me, and then hopefully through me to others. Because my aim is not to help others to be healed, but to help them to be healers, to then go on help others. And that is why the more people who see one painting, the more potential there is for people to be healed to a greater or less extent by it. Now, I just want to mention a few somewhat more physical type of details. For a start, the paintings I'm talking about today are all black on white. There's a reason I do colour, I also do black and white. They're very, very different. Colour is for feeling, because every colour has a particular feeling. Black on white is movement. And that's what I love most, is the free movement of the black on white. The free movement. And black is so much more powerful than white. It's like white has transmitted all of its colours into the world, and black still has them inside. When you look at white, it's like looking at in a sense, a landscape without water. It doesn't have, it's all depleted. But black has everything still there. So when you look at black, all colour, all power is coming to you, which is why a little bit of black can balance a whole lot of white. You see? So let's just talk about that for a moment. The art has to be balanced yin and yang. So I look at the canvas. Let's suppose I pick up the brush. Now, as I approach, and I dip it in the ink, as I'm approaching the canvas, I have yang power and the canvas is yin. Waiting for me. Please, please come to me. Please. Yes, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. So, and then as you move the brush, you are depleting your yang. It's becoming more yin. But the painting now is more yang. The painting now is more yang. Now you re-dip your brush and so forth. Your hand now, your brush now is re-yangified. You come again to this canvas which is yangier than before, but still mainly yin. And so you do it again and again, back and forth. It's always this interplay of yin and yang, until at some point it's all balanced. And then somebody, I don't know who, says, stop. And I stop. I don't know whether it's someone else telling me or the painting itself telling me, stop. That's it. Then people say, well, why don't you sign the painting? Well, I'm going to unbalance everything. I've just been so careful to balance yin and yang. So we paint the back. We sign the back of the painting, not the front. It's always balancing. The same thing, the Japanese tradition, as distinct from the Western tradition, the Chinese and Japanese, was always empty and full. You don't do everything. You leave lots of space. So it's empty and full. Now, one of the reasons that I leave space is because the painting is balanced. As far as I'm aware, I only finish when, as it were, I'm, quote, told it is balanced. When the painting tells me you've done your work, as it were, like the sufferer tells me, hey, I'm okay now, you can stop, I stop. But it's never stopped at the very end. There's always, at a higher level, a bit that needs to be added. But I don't do that bit. I want the viewer to do that bit in his mind. That's his active participation in the work. The other day, we put something on a canvas here, we put it there, just playing around. If I put it there, everything is balanced. But there's nothing for the viewer to do. If I put it there, everything is balanced about the same, but I've left the viewer to do something, because I want them to be actively involved. And what I know from a lot of experimentation is that every viewer will want to finish it at the same point. Eyes are always say, it's not that you need something there, but you really do need something there. Always the same point. But I say, you put it in, not me. Put it in with your mind. I want them to be active, because the more they're actively involved and the more it's their intention to be healed, not just to put something on the wall, but their intention to use the painting, my meditation, for their meditation, the more therapeutic it will be, which is my intention. Which also leads that I have a particular relationship with what I'm working on, paper, board, canvas, whatever it may be. There is a particular feeling of intimacy which I can't describe. It may be what a violinist or a guitarist feels with the strings or something, which a pianist I don't think gets with the keys. But there's some feeling, which you can get with the trumpet, when the trumpet starts to vibrate when you play it. And it's like this intimacy that develops between the painter and painted. There's some relationship. And if you don't want to share that intimacy, then the painting is always a very low life energy.